Welcome back to the SportsMax Zone. The race is over, and Garth Gayle is the man who will lead Jamaica's track and field for the next 4 years. The veteran administrator was voted in at the association's annual general meeting at the National Arena on Saturday. Ricardo Chambers details the happenings.
Donald Quarry, a symbol of greatness on the outside, inside the delegates not in favor of the legendary sprinter. Garth Gayle, honorary secretary for 20 years, now JAAA's president. The margin? Overwhelming, 236 votes to 28. Gale slate voted in en bloc. Despite losing, Quarry still happy with the race he ran, but displeased with aspects of the election process.
We need an independent body to run the election so that the list should be available to all at around the same time with the contact number. That's one of the major factors that played a role here, regardless of numbers, regardless of who won. If you have the list of 200 members, you have a big start. Nevertheless, the other issue is we need just one ballot sheet. If we had a full slate, we would be here past the deadline for us to be at home. And we need to change the way we do things and do it so that it benefits everyone.
Gale elated that his 40 years of service has led to this moment, but Stephen Francis, one of the world's most renowned coaches, is not sure he will have much to do.
To be honest, the JAAAs is one of those lucky federations that really have not much to do. You know, the development of the sport is taken care of by ISA and the high school on the one hand, and the clubs, the MVP racers, sprint tech, etc., plus the American colleges on the other. So, but essentially what we want them to do, just don't get into the way, don't create difficulties, and so long as that doesn't happen, then I think everybody's fine.
Francis asked what the administration needed to focus on in the first 100 days. His response?
There is nothing that he can do, I think, apart from do not make anything worse. That's it. You know, as I said, we just need to make sure that when it's time for athletes to perform, that they're able to travel properly, that they're able to, you know, to be comfortable. Right? And, you know, whatever else they do is, I think, brought up.
But with the Olympic Games set for 2021 in Tokyo, and still many moving parts of the COVID-19 pandemic, Gale takes over the JAAAs with much to ponder and in short order, many decisions to make.
Well, we are pleased to be joined by the new JAAA's boss, Mr. Garth Gayle. Welcome and congratulations.
Welcome, thank you very much.
Were you surprised at the margin of the victory?
No, not at all.
So you were expecting to win and by such a landslide?
Yes.
All right, so MVP coach, I feel like I have to start with that. Mr. Stephen Francis, of course, he had some stinging comments for you, saying that you won't really have much to do.
I accept what Mr. Francis has said because he's saying that from his perspective. He is a coach and a very good coach. And he has brought to Jamaica another sphere of how it is for us to do and manage our athletes ourselves here in Jamaica. And so for that, the JAAA's Jamaica is indebted to him because he believed in what he's doing, and he has done so, and he has done so very well.
Garth, leading up to the election, there were a lot of criticism surrounding the process. Did you in any way feel they are warranted?
They are not warranted. And for anyone who understands the sport of athletics and any sport, we are governed by rules. Our rules have been in place for many years. I joined the sport very early, and I became honorary secretary in 2000. Our rules are what guides us, and the rules can only be adjusted or changed at our annual general meeting or an extraordinary meeting. So no one individual has any power to change or to manipulate all rules.
All right, Garth, your acumen and your experience as an administrator of track and field in Jamaica is without question, based on the decades of experience that you've had in various positions, and most recently in your secretarial role, which is a very important role. Well, this COVID-19 issue has turned the world upside down, Garth, as we move a little bit away from what happened at the elections. How does the JAAA plan to resuscitate track and field amidst everything that is happening? I see where the MVP Track Club took a lot of credit for putting on meets during the summer when things weren't really happening. And the onus is on the JAAAs to ensure that you facilitate or preside over a sport that can lift itself even in these times. What's the plan?
Okay, first and foremost, COVID-19, the pandemic, has hit the world and has hit the world hard. For us in Jamaica, we continue to do our best. One, we must work along the guidelines and the profiles and the protocol rather, that has been set out by the government, mainly through the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Sports. As the governing body for the sports of athletics, let me point out that the activities that were held because one of our key members, the MVP Club, had an array of athletes that had competitions committed to. And so Dr. Warren Blake, past president, Dr. Carl Bruce, they led from the front and ensured that all the necessary protocols were in place for the staging of these competitions to allow our athletes an opportunity to be able to compete and to post quality times in order for them to be able to continue on the international scene. So it is not fair to say that one group did it all by themselves. Any activity, any sport has to operate within the ambit of the local organizing or the local body. And so the JAAA has provided that opportunity, that go-between for these activities to be successfully staged. Yeah. And we will do so again, and we are prepared for the new season 2021 to ensure a smooth, safe, comfortable environment for all our junior athletes, leading into Boys and Girls Championships and beyond.
How do you plan to get that done?
No, as I said, we will be working first and foremost with the government. The protocol, the documents are already basically written and are in place. And we will do all that is necessary to work with our local ministries and our meet promoters. Because already, if you were at our AGM, one of the leaflets that was made available was how to restart our sport. So we are doing the necessary work and working along with the guidelines set out by the government. It's very important. As an organization, we can't do it alone. Yeah. And we dare not try to do it alone. Yeah. So we have to work along with other associations, but mainly with the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Sports.
Yeah, Garth, it's obvious that you got an overwhelming mandate, you and your team, to continue on as leaders of track and field in the country, but there remain, dissenting voices. I heard Kubi Sigobin, the agent of Johan Blake, in a recent radio interview complaining that the JAAA's administrators don't talk to people, they don't communicate and keep in touch and give the necessary information. In other words, he was suggesting that the JAAA's had promised that you would have meets and probably even stage a national championship, even though COVID-19 had put paid to the Olympics and so on. But he suggested that he just kept hearing things, but there's a problem with communication with the JAAAs and the stakeholders. How would you respond to C. Gobin's comments?
I've heard your echo.
Yeah, I think we're having a little bit difficulty with the audio. So Garth Gayle emphatically returned or wins the presidency of the Jamaica Athletic governing body. And not surprising, we did hear Leighton Levy in our Friday evening show, Mariah, speak fairly confidently, about how the election would have gone, and he suggested that it would have been very difficult for Don Quarry to survive a comeback with Garth Gayle. Are you with us now? The audio was going just now.
No, I've been with you. I've not left you.
Yeah, I know, but we weren't hearing you. So we're waiting on the answer now of Kubisi Gobin complaining that the JAAAs over the years has a problem with proper communication with the stakeholders. How would you respond to that?
Mr. Sagobin is an agent that represents Jamaican athletes. Mr. Sagobin has not spoken or made representation to the JAAAs. That I'm assured of. So I would want to simply give you a clear understanding that the JAAAs has never, since I've been at the helm as the honorary secretary, ignore or not answer or work with any member of our association. So I'm not sure why and why he did it the way he did it, but then he would have to answer in that respect. But simply for us, we are not assured of what it is that he's speaking of, because he has not been speaking to us, the JAAAs.
Right.
He's speaking in the public domain. And that we speak to our affiliate members and our individual members when they reach out to us accordingly.
Garth, Don Quarry remains manager of national teams. Are you willing to work with him moving forward?
Our management structure, or the selection of, we have a selection committee that selects coaches, managers on an annual basis per event. And so we seek to always have the best individual, just as we seek to have the best athlete represent us at all times.
Yeah. All right. Garth, thank you very much for talking to us. Congratulations again on the success you've had. We know the track record that you've had as an administrator of the sport. Track and field regarded as Jamaica's most successful event on the international stage. And we wish you the best of luck in your administration.
Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure speaking with you and that beautiful lady. And we are always ready to speak with the media, because you are important to the success of the sport of track and field.
Garth, we don't forget.
Track and field to be number one.
Garth, we don't forget, so we're going to be calling on you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And of course, let's take a look now at the full slate of those who were elected on Sunday. First Vice President Ian Forbes, Second Vice President Lincoln Eatmont, Third Vice President Michael Frater, Fourth Vice President Vilma Charlton, Honorary Secretary Marie Tavares, Assistant Secretary Brian Smith, Treasurer Ludlow Watts, and Director of Records Leroy Cook.